Hi, it's part two. Did you watch part one? If you did, then you'll notice I'm not wearing the same clothes. It's because I took a shower. Feeling a little grimy. Had a rough past couple of days. People talk about that energy shit, astrology and all that stuff. It's all fucking real. It's all 100% real. People don't give it the respect it deserves, I think. No, absolutely not. All those people that say astrology's not real and tarot cards aren't real. Bullshit. That I know. Bullshit. But teach your own. Not my business what other people believe. Or what they want to believe. I ain't here to convince nobody. I'm just telling you what the fuck I know. I know them shits is real. I know this because I experienced them. I experienced them because of whatever the fuck crazy path I went down after getting involved with Qanon. They don't really talk about often. I keep talking about it. Nobody understands it. Nobody fucking knows. Anonymous. These fucking jerks that wear the stupid masks. Right though. Closed-minded. All of them. Most of them. All the ones I've met. Interacted with. And there's a few here and there that were cool. That I still talk to from time to time, but for the most part, nah. And by now, that whole movement has been so corrupted and infiltrated with horse shit that I don't think it's even worth most people's time. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I went in regards to waking up. I went through an accelerated process. That's for sure. At least compared to what I see from other people who've been doing this for years. This is only really something I've been at for a little over a year. Like I said, it started in October of 2017, which is when Q first popped up. Late October, early November. Early November is when I started to get involved with it. When I first found out about it, so technically that's when I got involved. So where did we leave off? Left off with the Satanism. Got into Satanism. I really wanted to know what the fuck it was all about. What the origins of Satanism were, what the modern philosophies of it were, where the principles came from, if it was really based off the Christian Satan or not. And found out a lot of really cool stuff. Because through that, I was searching around one day on YouTube looking for some stuff, research. And I found this gentleman by the name of Mark Passio. He runs a website, What on Earth is Happening. Really good stuff. And it was a video of a presentation that he had done in Philadelphia, I believe. It's about fucking 8 hours long. This guy does some wicked stuff. And it was called Demystifying the Occult. And at the time, I had just kind of been interested in what the occult was, because like I said, I was getting into Satanism, and Satanism kind of leads you into the occult pathway, and that is just a whole rabbit hole that you can go down for a long time and get lost. You can get lost in that real fucking quick. Once you start getting into magic and esoteric traditions and philosophies, there's it's a windy road that you can get really confused in if you don't know what you're doing. But then again, I mean, it all leads to the same place. All that shit magic and witchcraft and cards and what was that? Page of Swords. Communication. Stumbling over your own mouth. Once you start digging down that path, it really goes for a while. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just lucked out. Maybe I lucked out by finding this guy Mark. Not even people in the occult community. They're not really too hip on this guy. How many people know him? Not as many as I would think. He's got some solid information. The guy's really done his homework. He actually used to be a priest in the Church of Satan. And a lot of his work is just bringing a lot of the occult philosophies, occult traditions to light. Exposing a lot of this stuff for what it is, symbology, Hermeticism, Christianity. I mean, like I think I was saying before in the last video, like right towards the end, like all religions, all philosophies, spiritual philosophies and the likes, they all have deeper teachings that they don't really talk about too much in the more mainstream versions. For instance, Christianity. They don't talk about Gnosticism. Gnosticism is heresy to the Christian faith, thanks to Pope Augustine. I'm pretty sure it was Augustine who outlawed the teachings of Gnosticism. What's Gnosticism? Gnosticism was kind of the philosophy that Christ was teaching. If in the 1940s in Egypt, there were these texts that were found called the Nag Hammadi texts, and what the Nag Hammadi texts were thought to be, well, what they are is the director's cut of the Bible. A lot of shit that wasn't put in there. Gospels and I don't know what else you call them. Gospels and teachings of certain characters that were not introduced in the Bible. Well, no, the characters that are introduced in the Bible, but words that they had written. For instance, the Gospel of Mary, the Gospel of Thomas. I believe there's a Gospel of Jesus as well. Nag Hammadi texts, I believe, are the only place where it's claimed that Jesus' words are actually written. But the fundamental of Gnosticism is kind of what I was getting into earlier about Christ being within you. Christ not being a god, but a man. Title. A teacher, spiritual teacher. Call whatever the fuck you will. Same thing as Christianity, it's just you're Christ. Same shit he had in him, you got in you. So from Q, and I didn't stop with the Q stuff. Once I found Mark, I still was going along with it. I was still doing research, and if you go on my Twitter page, if you scroll all the way back, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on there. That's pretty much all I was doing was anonymous stuff, posts, memes, usual shit. A lot of research, a lot of writing, a lot of reading, a lot of digging, and throughout that time, it's kind of like I was on two paths. I had the occult path, which not many people at the time were really getting into, especially with the Q community, because they were all Trump fans. They were all Make America Great Again people. So these are Bible pushers who really didn't want to get into, quote, Satanism, when in reality, what I had been learning was that Satanism wasn't really Satanism at all. What they were calling Satanism was just occultism. Even occultism. What the fuck is occultism? There is no such thing as occultism. It's esoteric stuff. Teachings. Hidden truths that people don't talk about. Shit the Freemasons are teaching. People like the Golden Dawn, the Rosicrucians. You want to use them, the Illuminati. Theosophy. The likes of Blavatsky. Helena Blavatsky. Theosophy. Aleister Crowley with his what is it called? Whatever the hell Aleister Crowley's thing was. Do as thou wilt. And see, now that was a big thing too with the Q people. They kept on. People love to talk about how Aleister Crowley and do as thou will was like this calling card of the Satanists. Do as thou will, do whatever you want. Fuck kids, do drugs, do this, do that. No. I mean, yes. But not the kid part. Other shit. Crowley was an interesting cat. Gets a bad rap. In my opinion, from the hair. Side. He's got cut. But these were the type of people I was dealing with. They're looking at occultism as this evil that was corrupting the world, and in reality that wasn't true. It's the other way around, really. Christianity. See, these people were so deep into conspiracy theory that they didn't want to. And you can go to these Q people and they'll tell you how the church, the Pope is evil, and the church and Rome is the epicenter. But they will not accept that there is something outside of their Lord Jehovah and Jesus Christ. Very interesting. It's very weird. Because it's almost as if these people, they think that this Pope was the only bad Pope. That this Pope doesn't know more than they do. That this guy is the evilest of all evils, that he's the Antichrist. No. Pope is teaching exactly what Christianity was taught, was built to teach. To enslave people. To make you worship something that's not there. Well, no, it's there. It's there. When you put your thought and your energy behind something, you create it. There's just as many gods as there are people in the world, because anything that you want to believe is real is real. It's that fucking simple. It just happens to be that the Muslims, Christians, and Jews all worship the same God. They just call it different names, and then they fight each other over whose God is right. Interesting. And they all are. And they're all wrong at the same time. It's amazing. Said, every truth is a half lie, and every lie is a half truth. There's a little bit of wisdom in everything, and there's a little bit of bullshit wrapped around it. But that's not to say anyone is any more right than anybody else. I mean, you're as right as you want to be. So, where was I? Q. So yeah, so Q got me on this path. And if you're familiar with Q at all, one of his big taglines in the beginning is no coincidences, everything happens for a reason. Future proves the past. All of which is true statements. Because everything does happen for a reason. There are no coincidences. And you can prove that. You can prove that with your own life. That's how I learned it. Because as I was progressing through this path of wisdom and knowledge that I was on, learning, understanding the truth, what the fucking truth is, weird shit started happening. Started to see shit. Not anything particularly crazy. Coincidence, mostly. I was actually just having a conversation with somebody about this girl. She's on one of my Facebook groups. She's asking anybody notice all this weird stuff happening since you started practicing magic? She's in a magic group. I just like going to the magic place because I like the magic groups because though I know how it works, those people, they're all role playing. They don't realize it. Because there's ways to do what it is they're trying to achieve without going through all the fucking crazy stuff. Like, you don't need to go to a metaphysical shop and buy all the herbs and spices and candles and all that shit. You can. It's fine. Get the same effects as if you just meditated, thought on some stuff. And even people's perception of meditation isn't even 100%. I mean, what do most people use their meditating for? They use their meditating skills to quiet their mind so they can find peace. Oh, fuck no, man. What I learned, you let that motherfucker go. You let it show you all the nasty shit. Because the reason your mind's going fucking crazy, judgment, Wheel of Fortune. The reason your mind goes crazy all the time, the reason that you need to distract yourself with like TV and video games, drugs, alcohol, people, relationships, other people's business. The reason you need to do that is it's pretty simple. It's because you're hiding. What are you hiding from? You're hiding from what your mind is trying to tell you. What's your mind trying to tell you? You're fucked up. Shit ain't going right. Why isn't it going right? Because you're so caught up in this other shit that doesn't mean anything. Because everything out there is make believe. It really is. When you really start to look at things, you really start to pay attention. It becomes very clear that everything that you've been doing, everything that you're involved in, meaningless. It's not meaningless in... Let me rephrase that. It's meaningless in that you're a fucking dime a dozen. You're just like everybody else. Everybody else is going through the exact same thing as you, but they don't want to talk about it, just like you. For instance, everyone is going through some shit right now where they're trying to figure out a new way of going about their business, about their lives. There's something they want to change. There's something that needs to be overhauled. There's things you need to move on from. You're trying to move on. What are you trying to move on from? You're trying to move on from your job, a relationship, move on to a new relationship, trying to move on from that old one that just you can't stop thinking about. I can relate to that. I haven't seen my wife or my son in almost a year. My ex-wife. See, I'm moving on from that. I've been divorced for 3 months? 4 months? 4 months? Been divorced for 4 months. Hey man. Illumination. New perspectives on looking at things. Been divorced for 4 months. And still getting used to that. It's weird. We were married for a long time. She's a little bit of a bitch though. She doesn't let me see my son. Probably really pissed off I just said that. But that's okay. We'll get into that another time. But yeah, no, she's kind of a fucked up person. See, she's doing it for the right reasons. She thinks I'm fucked up. But in thinking I'm fucked up, she's doing a fucked up thing. She doesn't realize it. And I know I could go about things in a different way, and I don't. Because who the fuck am I to push anybody and make anyone think who am I to push my beliefs onto someone else? Even if I think she's fucked up, and I think he's fucked up for listening to her, which I don't think he actually listens to her. I think she just lies to me because she doesn't want me in her life. Because I think that she's still madly in love with me. That's really my belief, but it's a whole different thing. But see, I'm moving on. I'm trying to move on, and it's hard. It's very difficult. A lot of, like, a couple of the astrology groups I'm in, people want to know how to get back with their old person. They want to bring that person back to them. This is a trend. This is a big trend. People want revenge on someone on an ex who hurt them. They want to smite this person now. Sorry. Devil eggs. I was working on a new recipe. Absolutely phenomenal. Should probably sell them. Really good. Anne taught me how to make them. I just make them better. She's dead, so she can't even try to compare. But then again, I guess if you wanna go that route, I'm channeling her every time I make them, because I think of her every time I make them. So, thanks, Aunt Helen. So we're all moving on. We can all relate to it. I'll relate to that. Judgment. There's judgment coming. Judgment's coming for all of us. My voice is very hoarse. It usually happens when I smoke. I haven't smoked in a while. Could just be in my head. Judgment. Judgment of yourself. You piece of shit. Stop judging other people. That's another thing that we do. We get so caught up in judging other people in their lives. Like I just did. With my ex. Calling her a fucked up person. No, she's not fucked up. She's actually probably one of the best moms I know. Why? Because she's keeping her son away from this crazy father. This isn't fucking normal. I don't have a job. I rely on the universe and karma to take care of me. And it does. I can prove it. Got 14 fucking books written about how insane reality really is. Reality that I found through Q. Reality that I found through Mark Passio, through doing my own research and study and experimentation with philosophies and ideas that I had no idea were even fucking there. Then once I found them and I started to really think about them and meditate on them, I started to see them working in my own life, that I start to really pay attention to everything that was going on. What was going on? This was about January, February last year. I even said to my ex, who was my wife at the time, I thought I was going crazy. I thought the universe was talking to me. And would you fucking believe it that it really was? Turns out I was getting these like weird intuitions and these ideas that were coming to me. Like I was feeling what people were thinking. I was thinking what people were feeling. I would have these notions. I would see an event play out in my life and find this deeper, more intense meaning behind it. Around this time of going crazy, I thought I was going crazy. I almost had myself committed. I was debating on getting myself committed because I was staying up really late every night, getting high or getting drunk and trying to figure this out. I'd spend all night on the fucking computer doing research, going on YouTube trying to find some shit, and what the conclusion of everything was basically, and hold on, let me finish up with this Q thing, was that everyone is kind of fucking brainwashed. And I think you can agree. If you go to anyone who isn't you, they sound like a brainwashed zombie, yeah? Your boss, your mom, your dad, friends, partners, exes. Well, I got a thing with my hair. I like making sure my hair looks exactly the way I like it to. And I think we call that stuck in the matrix. It's a popular term. What I noticed is that everyone around me. So one night I wanted to see celebrations. I wanted to see if anyone had figured out how to unbrainwash people, if that was a thing. So I went on YouTube and I started to Google or started doing some research into how to unbrainwash the brainwashed. And what I found was yeah, I know, I'm wearing my shirt. But no, nobody had figured it out. But I did find a couple people who were doing videos that I had no idea what the fuck was going on. So I found a couple people that had posted some videos, specifically Victor Odo, Infinite Waters, Global Witness. And the fucked up thing was, when I found these guys, they all had like kind of different messages, but the same. But every single one of them was explaining exactly what was going on with me. Things I was seeing, things I was experiencing, things I was experiencing in my life. They were telling me. They were telling me without telling me. Just talking about their own experiences. It was... It's like I was finding the people I've been looking for my entire life. I couldn't touch them. Couldn't speak to them. They were just there. And you know, I still rely on them from time to time. I like to watch their videos and see what they have to say, because they always have the right thing to say right at the right time. They know these guys are like tuned into something that I wasn't. And what was really weird is like I would go to like their older videos too, and even the old stuff would be pertinent to what I was experiencing. It was really bizarre. Just like out of nowhere, quick shit. Just like I had no idea that a year ago some guy was talking about something I'm going through today. Like, it was really fucked up when I really try to think about it. But yeah, everything happens for a reason. This is some of the shit that helped me realize, yeah, everything happens for a reason, man. All of it does. Whether you realize it or not, there's a message, there's something there for you. And it's hard to grasp at first. Really scary. Because you can't explain it. You can't talk to people about it. I tried talking to my ex about it. She thought I was fucking cuckoo bird. But and like that's the thing. It was like this burden, this incredible burden that I'm carrying around. This burden that I'm carrying around with me, because I understand what I'm doing. I understood it. I understood it all. I knew why I was getting into these things. I knew why I was wanting to do all this other stuff, and I knew what was kind of happening in my head, sort of. And I just needed someone to talk to, and it was rough, because the few people that I could find, I found on Twitter, though anonymous. It was actually pretty amazing. The people that would I bump into, because it was right at the peak of when I thought I was going to go nuts, that I met someone. I forget his name, but he knew everything that I did at the time. didn't know how to tell anybody because nobody else understood. This guy did, and he knew all the stuff. I even said to him, what did I say? Nothing crazy. Well, it was crazy. I think I even told him, like, I've been waiting for you. I need you. I needed you. You came exactly when I needed. Because he was kind of confirmation that, no, I'm not crazy. Now, granted, I was high and I was drunk that night. And the next morning, I was kind of still questioning what happened. Like, did that really fucking happen? Was that real? And that was pretty much me every single night. Did that really happen? What's going on? So now on top of all of this, I started getting these weird intuitive notions, we'll call it. Like I wanted to go and do things. Nothing crazy. But this one day, I was watching a couple Mark Passio seminars, and I was very much into them. I really suggest going to his website and checking them out. Going to what on earth is happening and checking out the video section. There's a lot of really good shit on there. Suggest starting with Natural Law. It's a great seminar. Followed by Streetwise Spirituality. That's another amazing one. And then after that, Demystifying the Occult. And Demystifying the Occult Part 2. Demystifying the Occult is split up into 3 parts because it's so long. I think it's about 8 hours. But then there's also another one a couple years that was made a couple years later. It's Demystifying the Occult Part 2. It's all about dark occultism. Very good. But after watching those, I like to read. So I had this notion one day to go to Barnes & Noble. So I grabbed the family, we'll go down to Barnes & Noble. This is a very strong urge. And he was talking about, I believe I was looking for something about Kabbalah. I wanted to know a little bit more about that. I was interested in understanding what it was. I've heard about it since I was a kid. I remember, I think it was my mother who was talking about it. But I've heard about it throughout the years. It's like a form of Judaism that you don't have to be a Jew to practice. Very interesting. I wanted to understand what the hell that was about. And I found this book called The Kabbalion. I go, oh, it's got to be it. So open it, just to kind of peruse, and it was, boom! Oh, no, it wasn't about Kabbalah. It was about the 7 Hermetic Principles. Now, I had learned about the Hermetic Principles through Mark Passio. I wanted to know more about them, but they weren't even on my mind. And I went and I found this book, and this book was just fucking sitting right on the shelf, right in front of my fucking face. Like someone put it there just for me to find. And I believe they did. Whoever put it there so somebody would find it. Did they have me in mind? I don't know, maybe. I thought about that. Thought about the possibility that what if someone had the pre-notion to know that, oh my God, Derek's going to be here and I need him to find this book. I actually have another theory that possibly just a theory, that a future version of me put it there. Future version of me that knows how to control other people. Or maybe even a time traveler, man. Time travel's real, by the way. Not what people think. You can do it in your head. You can channel a future version of yourself. And you can talk to that person. They can take over. It's interesting, it's weird, it's very complex. You need to be very open to possibilities that are alien. That's for sure. There's a lot of cool shit out there. If you really take the time to forego what other people tell you to believe and do some thinking on your own. Because it's my thought that If you're willing to believe what people tell you, what aren't you willing to believe? You're willing to believe your preacher that Jesus Christ died for your sins, but you're not willing to believe me? Why? Why? Because I didn't go to seminary? Why? Because he did? What if seminary taught you how to enslave people? What if that was the point of it? To teach you how to lie. You really think Father Brian down the street practices the same religion as you? Monsignor so and so? You think he's up there every night doing the same thing you are, believing the same shit that you are? Bullshit. They know a lot more than you know. How much of that Bible do they actually teach you in church? Not a lot. They don't teach you the whole thing. They teach you what's convenient. They don't tell you about how Christ came down with a fucking sword. Don't think I came to bring peace to this earth. No. I brought a sword. I came to turn father against son, mother against daughter, father-in-law against son-in-law, daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. He who loves his family more than me does not deserve me. He who loves his children more than me do not deserve me. That is your Christ. That's your Jesus. Jesus said, fuck everybody. You focus so much time on everybody else. No, you're never gonna find it. You're never gonna find Christ. Talking blasphemy. The cards are telling me. The cards are telling me to calm down. Fuck that. That's your Christ. Let the dead bury the dead. You know what that meant? He's talking about you fucking zombies. He's talking shit on you. You are the dead. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Or one of his followers. Jesus, I gotta go. My mother just died. I need to bury her. I need to see her go. Let the dead bury the dead, he said. Christ raising people from the grave. Resurrection of Lazarus. No. You can't raise people up from the fucking dead. Not literally. Not that I've seen. It might be possible. No. What he was talking about was spiritually dead. He was tapping them on the goddamn head and showing them the way. Teaching the cripple how to walk the path of enlightenment. Giving sight to the blind, spiritually blind, the people who can't see reality all around them. Helping people to hear, curing the deaf, so that they can hear the coded message in all things. In the wind, in the barky dogs, in the conversations we have with other people. What did I say in that last video? God speaks through you. God speaks in code, though. He speaks in code to get you all pissed off. But if you actually pay attention, there's a lesson to be learned with every single conversation that you have, with every single person that you interact with. It's up to you to find it, though. That's what Christ was teaching. How do I know this? Because I study like a motherfucker. Because I read like a motherfucker. Because I do my own fucking research. I don't use these things to fucking tell fortunes. Sorry. I'm just looking. I don't like when people come home, I can't... This is a part of myself I have to hide. I can't be fully me. I still wear a mask, just like you. I mean, I don't have to. Just that nobody talks to me as it is. And like when I go full blown, like I don't give a fuck. Just say whatever I want. Talk the truth. My truth. Nobody listens. Get their cell phones out and they start talking. Because people are rude as fuck. This is why I have to do this. I don't want to fucking talk on fucking YouTube. You know how uncomfortable this is? I had a friend who used to do this shit. He used to make fun of him all the time. He's fucking gay. I don't want to fucking talk to nobody. I don't like people. But unfortunately, I can't fucking sit in a room by myself and not talk. I mean, I can. Oh my god, my back. Ugh. I actually meditated for 2.5 hours this morning. 2.5 hours. That's not fighting my mind, like I was saying before. That's me letting my mind just go. Letting my mind wander wherever it wants to go. Show me whatever it wants to show me, because everything happens for a reason. And there's a reason why your mind is trying to show you all the shit that you're trying to hide from. It's because you gotta face something that you're hiding from. Right now, I got some shit going on with my ex, which I think I kind of alluded to earlier. I would love to not be dealing with, but I have to deal with it. I had left. I live in New Jersey. I went to California a couple weeks ago. I wasn't coming back. I said I haven't talked to my wife or my son in almost a year. Ex-wife. I'm still doing that. In almost a year? What the fuck do I have over here? What, bills? Fuck that. I ain't paying no bills. I'm not getting a fucking job. I'm not going back to what was killing me. I've been trying to be an entrepreneur for the past fucking year. Which, she may not realize it, but my ex fucked me up. She fucked up my business. Crumbled. Because of her. She doesn't realize it. And it's not her fault. It's really not her fault. Completely. I deserve most of the blame because I was being sneaky. I wasn't even being sneaky. Bitch said she didn't want to know what was going on in my life, so I didn't tell her what was going on in my life. My son stopped wanting to come around me. Hey, fuck you too, bud. 11 years old, I don't give a fuck. I'm not some fucking doormat where you get to come in and out wherever the fuck you want. Treat me however you want. Sorry, I don't think so. I have my own ambitions, my own dreams, all this shit. Because here's the thing, going back to that Q thing, Q and Trump and all this other shit that was going on. One of the big things that I was getting inspired to do was not be like everybody else anymore. I wanted to do something spectacular. I wanted to do something that was more me. I didn't want to work for anybody anymore. Trump was very big on getting small businesses going, and I found that really inspiring. Because I had spent so many years, over a decade, working for other people and really, literally killing myself. I wanted to kill myself so much. I really wanted to kill myself. I hated it. I was a fucking slave. I was a slave. One of my bosses, this one job I had, this motherfucker, was to go with my wife to therapy. The therapist even told me, you got battered woman syndrome. This motherfucker used to fucking mentally abuse the shit out of me. I used to let him. Overwork me, take advantage of me, talk to me like I was that short little motherfucker. He's very lucky that he had me, that version of me working for him, because I can tell you right fucking now that this person right here, you ever fucking talk to me like that again, I'd break your goddamn mouth. Yeah, maybe I wouldn't break your mouth, but that's not very nice. I'm not a violent person. Say violent things, but it wouldn't last. I'll tell you that. Got a little heated there thinking about that guy. I don't like him. I don't like him. I mean, I like him. He was a good. He was good as a friend. Yeah, he was a shitty friend. He wasn't even a good friend. As a person, though, I respected him. I respected what he was doing with the business and well, business owner. Kind of respected that. Him as a human, though, he was a piece of shit. But we're all pieces of shit, so can't judge too much. Star. Any wishes for anything? Or what? And, you know, I take back the thing about talking on YouTube. It's not gay. It's actually kind of fun. Because I get to talk the way that I want to talk. And then that was kind of when I went to California, that was a big thing. I didn't want to come back because I live a very mystical, magical life. Like, a lot of weird and crazy shit happens. Everything happens for a reason? Shit. I'm gonna make that line fucking famous one day. So I have seen some shit. Boy. I don't know what the fuck to do. Ain't nobody that's ever going to fucking believe anything I have to say until they experience it for themselves. And everyone's actually kind of experiencing it right now. Like I was saying before, everybody's going through the same thing. But the problem is that everyone's experiencing it in their own way. No two ways are the same. And that's a fucked up part because it's really hard to explain to people. Ace of Cups. Relationships, new partnerships. It's hard to explain to people when they don't know what's happening. But everybody's going through the same thing, just in different ways, and it's fucking aggravating. Not a lot of people are very much into the spiritual shit. Which I don't blame them. A lot of it's like fucking culty. I don't like some of the shit. But once you get into the metaphysical philosophies behind some of this theological shit, it's really fucking interesting. Like, if you go to the Bible and you look into the New Testament, like, there's a lot of stuff that Christ says that's legit. Ask and ye shall receive. You fucking better ask. You got a question? Ask the question. You want an answer? Ask the question. Ask and ye shall receive. Knock and the door shall be opened. Ask yourself, what the hell am I supposed to... What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Where am I going? You'll get an answer. Any question that you have, you will have... the answer will come to you. Not when you want it to, when you need it to, though. And that's what happened to me. So, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to be something different. I didn't ask my wife a couple times. I was like, she wanted to start a business and do something different. She said no. And she was also being a bitch because she didn't. She wanted to get a divorce, but she didn't have the balls to tell me. That's okay. So did I. Oh my god, my back. It's sitting. Not a very comfortable position. Oh, let me. Oh, ouch. It's a little more personable. Oh. So yeah, I wanted to get a little bit more into entrepreneurialism, and I wanted to find a way to use the occult to do that. I didn't know what. I really do like these things. These are like my favorite thing. Hey, moving on again. I really do love the cards. They have a way of working that people don't understand, which is a shame because the way they work is so fucking amazing. These are the epitome of everything happens for a reason. Every card that you see comes out for a reason. Zip. The Page of Cups. Mr. Lova Lova. His little fishy friend. Little fishy love? Fishy love. It's funny. Google that song. It's actually a really good song. My son turned me on to it. Pretty catchy. But I didn't know how to do it. All I knew is I was going to make my living through the occult. that the occult and esoteric teachings were going to be my way of life, some way, shape, or form. Whether it was me teaching how to do stuff, because fortune tellers, I've known quite a few card readers in my day. Well, since the past year, I've met a lot of them. None of them can do it like I do. My cups. That's what I'm doing right now. Because, I don't know, I think I'm a little bit better. I'm better than most. Because I use the cards in such a way that it's not going to tell you if Johnny's going to call you tomorrow. I don't give a fuck if you're going to get back with your ex. But I can tell that you got a situation that you're fucking dealing with right now that's kind of like giving you some heartache. It's really bothering you. Really bad. Right here. Might actually feel like you got stabbed in the heart a couple times. Or broken heart syndrome. Then you have to ask yourself, why? Why are you even letting that bother you? Why are you so dependent on someone else? You're going to let them, not even them, the thought of them hurt you. You move on from shit. Start using your noodle. Let your brain go. Stop fighting it. Stop fighting what your mind is trying to tell you, because your mind is there to try to heal you. It's trying to heal you. That's really what's going on. This awakening, this great awakening that Q used to talk about, this awakening, the spiritual awakening that people are talking about, the Kundalini awakening that people are talking about, all this shit. It's all the same fucking thing. It's all the same. All across the board. It's just a million, people are just using a million different terms to explain the same shit. Magic, witchcraft, astrology, it's all connected. Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism. Pick your favorite fucking poison, bud. It's all saying the same shit. But here's the cool part. Is that every single one of those traditions, every single one of those religions, every single one of those philosophies and teachings, they all have something that all the other ones don't have. Think of it like a big puzzle piece. Big puzzle. Everything has its own little piece that goes into to make this big grander picture. And what is that big grander picture? Reality. Reality. They fucked with you. They fucked with us all. A little bit of truth wrapped in a lot of bullshit. It's up to you to find the truth out. So, I'll wrap this up. Next into a part 3. I feel like people aren't going to want to sit for this long. What do you think? Yeah, me too. We make it a 3-parter.